Welcome to the It's Always Sunny in Hell podcast. It looks like my co-host is not there. But I guess I'll just do the intro anyway. This is a It's Always Sunny fan podcast where we have a little theorem where from season 2, episode 1 and onward, the gang is in hell. And we just talk about random episodes throughout. We just pick random episodes and then we go. And Oh, what's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you finish the intro. I've been here for a bit. Yeah.
Sick.
And now the episode will start. Yeah, Old Lady House. We just
Old Lady House is
House.
the episode that we are talking about. Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
It's okay.
Filled up on these chips. Not sponsored. All right. So, Old Lady House, this episode is one of my favorites from my favorite season. I'm just going to say it straight up. My favorite season is season 12. It's what?
That's what I say. I say that.
We can have the same favorite season.
Okay, well, yeah, that's a good thing if we have the same favorite season. Definitely, yeah. I mean, Old Lady House is a great episode, and it's a
really good episode.
12, and I love
season 12, episode 3 of season 12. Season 12 also has one of your favorite episodes. I think it's your favorite of all time, which is the Gang Ten's Bar, I believe, right?
Oh, I love Gang Ten's Bar.
Is Gang Ten's Bar in season 13?
Nope, it's in this one. I was looking at it while we were pulling this one up on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Because we were watching this show very legally.
Yeah. Very legally.
So legally.
So, welcome back to It's Always Sunny in Hell.
Yeah.
This is a big one for the theory.
Yeah, it's a big one for, like, an additive to the theory that I have.
Yeah, right?
And,
So, do you want to go into it, or do we want to talk about how, like, what we think of the episode, like how, like, well it's structured? Because it is, like, fucking perfect.
Yes.
It's, like, paced perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, fucking God. It flows so well. Like, it sets everything up really well. It has the grace period of everything's working out, and then it starts to devolve into chaos and ruin. Yep. And the ending is something big for the theory. Okay, what do you think of this episode?
I like this episode. It goes hard. I think that it's like, while we were watching it get set up, specifically in the scene where Dennis is adding the laugh track to Mrs. Kelly saying, "Well, I'll sleep you" with the hammer.
Yeah.
I really had the thought, like, how did you conceive this episode? How did you pitch this episode? How did this episode come to be? Because it's like very weird. It's like, okay, so our main characters become invested in the lives and developments of the side characters and start watching them through cameras hidden in their house.
Yeah, and try and become side characters in the TV show for the side characters of the regular show.
It's a crazy idea. Like, it really, but they do, like you said, like, they make it look seamless. Like, the pacing is great. They have that idea, and they kind of come to that idea in the world of the show, but then the idea starts to fall apart. And then has this really nice ending. I think there's a lot, and Lynn Marie Stewart, who is the actor who plays Charlie's mom, is just a shining light in this episode, as she is in pretty much every episode that she's in.
Always has been.
Fantastic.
She's so good.
Has been Hotel. I don't know. They're in hell. See the pieces connect. That's the seeing that on a conspiracy board is the most shit I've ever thought of. It's like it's just a straight line going up and down, and one is like shining light always has been hotel hell Question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm like, that's just shit.
Oh
But
my god. Yeah.
if we're talking
That's
about
funny.
Lynn Marie Stewart, she was so fucking good in season 16. She had two
Mhm.
moments that I'm obsessed with and make me laugh every time I see them. And in this podcast tradition, yes, we're here to talk about Old Lady House, but also we're gonna hop to random episodes all over the place.
Yeah.
Because, like, why not? We make the rules.
Yeah, we do.
The two shining light moments for me are in The Gang Gets Cursed, where they're having this, like, dinner, like, this, like, birthday for Uncle Jack.
Yeah.
And it's all very regular, and they sit down for cake, and then Charlie cuts around the bullshit and just goes, "Frank, we're here because Mom, we're here because Frank killed a seagull." She just goes, like, she just blood curdlingly shrieks, like she's just so upset immediately. It never fails to make me laugh. It never fails to make me laugh, that moment.
Oh my god.
And then the second one of hers that I fucking love, I love the whole interaction, the whole scene, what's the one called? Is it Frank Shoots Every Member of the Gang?
Probably.
Yes, it's Frank Shoots Every Member of the Gang, because it's the one about legacy, and Charlie's looking for the vase full of teeth. Yeah, that's Frank Shoots Every Member of the Gang. And the scene where Charlie is like, "Go get the teeth for me," and she walks off onto her own in the kitchen, and then she yanks out her own tooth, and she's just like, and Charlie's like, let me see it, and she just like spits out a bunch of blood, and she just and she's like, and she's very clearly having a mental breakdown. Like, her whole performance in that whole sequence, like, she's just blood coming out of her mouth, and she's freaking out, and then Charlie caps it off by going like, "Now Mom's screaming! Now Mom's screaming!" as he fucking hangs the phone up over and over again. And Mac is just like, "What the fuck is happening?" That whole scene makes me so, like, is so funny. And then he's just like, "Okay, we're gonna go get the teeth, all right? Okay." And she's just like, I think she's having a stroke, dude. God, it's so good.
God, she is amazing. I love the way, I love her character tics, and I love that about, like, it's the same with Mac's mom and Charlie's mom. You could, like, just from their interactions, you can instantly see how Charlie and Mac individually are the way they are.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Like Charlie's mom is super overprotective, and she has, like, these weird rituals and tics, and Charlie does also, to some extent. But, like, and same with Mac's mom is just, just like,
I don't give a shit. Yeah. That's a very crazy and poignant thing that this show has always been saying, is that, like, the people who raise you make you the way you are. Like, Dee and Dennis with Frank and Barbara. Like you, like, oh, what's the foster, not, fuck. What, there's like a saying for it, like, for the effect that occurs, and it's like foster something, whatever. But, like, they talk about it on the podcast about how that was something that they were trying to say, and it continues into, like, Mac and Charlie. Like, it's really very cool the way that we
now we gotta get to brass tacks. We gotta talk more theory.
Yes. Old Lady House.
Something about this episode, or just like the dynamic that we were talking about with Charlie's mom and Mac's mom, those characters and Charlie and Mac. So in our theory, we have two major things going on right now. We have that they're just in hell, and this is their hell, and they're living it out. And then we also have a second thing, which is they're in a TV show in hell, entertaining the denizens of hell.
Part of their hell is that they are part of a production in hell to entertain the masses and demons in hell.
Yes, and demons play the side characters. Yeah.
Huh.
So the demons would play the parents? Like, what's the
that's something
thing
that
with
I was
that,
just about to
right?
kind of like circle to is like, do we? Yeah. We should talk about that, like other actors or other
Yeah.
people in hell, because like,
Uncle Jack is he's definitely like in majority of the episodes that he's in, he is played by a demon, I believe.
got it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. We see Charlie's mom in season 1.
Yeah.
I don't think we see Mac's mom in season 1, because I think the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the first time we see Mac's
I
mom
think it's season 2.
is season 2 in the episode Mac bangs Dennis's mom, because Dennis tries to go bang Mac's mom. I think that's the first time we see her, so they'd be in hell by that point, because like, that's not, like, do we think every character who's not them? I think there are exceptions. Like, I think there are like specific cases where other people might be being tortured in adjacency to them or by them. Like, the lawyer immediately comes to mind.
Yes,
I
exactly.
think the lawyer is in hell for some reason, and every time he interacts with them, it's a part of his punishment. I think about that a lot.
And I would say the waitress is also that until a certain point in the show. We will get to that point eventually. I don't know when. But I think it's probably around the time when she just stops giving a fuck about Dennis.
Yeah.
Is probably about the turning point. Because does she still give a fuck about Dennis in the newer seasons? Is she still like love struck or whatever? I don't think she is. I think she's more
definitely,
just like, fuck everyone
definitely.
here.
Well, hard to say in the Ireland episode because she's pissed at them and she just was drowning in the bog. The only episode I can think of before that is the Super Bowl one where she's not even there.
Yeah.
Like, she's not even... Like, or she's not... I said that wrong. Where Dennis isn't even there.
Yeah.
And
then there is the
one that we watched,
which I don't know if there's any
Ladies Reboot.
Yeah, Ladies Reboot.
She does mention that she wants to be better than Dennis. She wants to beat his record.
Yeah.
For being a member of the Air Sex Society. But I think I see what you're saying about how at a certain point she's like over Dennis, and that no longer begins, like, she's not really tortured anymore. Okay, but in this episode, so there's a thing that happens with Dennis at the very end of the episode, where Dennis has this recording set up. He justifies it by saying it's the cameras that used to be in his room before his apartment burned down and all that. So he has the surveillance equipment.
Yeah.
He sets it up. They make a show out of the moms. Crazy. They do it. He pulls the plug because he doesn't like the characters knowing they're on camera. It ruins it for him. The episode ends with the camera pulling out and showing that he's filming his friends now. He's filming the main characters in the bar on a smaller rig, but he's still filming it. And then he says, now it's funny again, or something along those lines.
Now it's good again, something like that.
Yeah, now it's funny again, now it's good again, something like that.
It is canonical that he is filming people. Like, obviously, throughout the show, he definitely films in his bedroom throughout the show. Like, that's from, season 3, I think, onward. Something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that whatever one fucking Project Badass is introduced in.
Yeah, right.
So maybe season 4.
It's definitely season 3 is like, because season 3 was Mac bangs the waitress in season 3, because that definitely
that's the one I'm thinking of. I just don't know if that's season 3 or 4.
Yeah, right. But so he's been known to like film people without their knowledge, and that's like what makes it good for him. So this is a little bit of layered TV stuff that we got going on. If we believe that they have TV, they're in a show in hell.
Yeah.
and they're also in a show in Dennis's personal enjoyment time. Like,
yeah,
for Dennis's personal enjoyment. Like, is there any extra, layers to it, do you think?
Yeah.
It doesn't continue throughout the rest of the show.
Yeah. Or has it already been happening and we just didn't know? A part of me believes, as far as controlling personalities within the dynamic of the show,
yeah,
Frank and Dennis come to the forefront. And honestly, the two of them working together also makes a hell of a lot of sense in my mind. There's like the Wolf Cola whole thing of like, Frank likes to be in control and Dennis just likes the illusion of power, but I don't think that that's fully true. He also does enjoy being in control. And like,
well, that's kind of exemplified whenever he's a prostitute in that episode. In that one episode, the fucking
gets whacked,
gang gets whacked. Yeah. Like, that's their whole dynamic in that episode.
Yeah. And like the gang buys a roller rink. Like, there's the whole thing of like Dennis has worked for Frank before. There's a big part of me that's like, if this is a production, someone in the production is in on it and is pulling strings and setting things up and putting plot lines in motion and greenlighting things and like saying okay to plot lines and shit.
The real question is, would do you?
One
think
thing I want to bring up: I didn't start
a
timer when we started.
Oh, it's fine. I got a timer on the thing. It'll be fine. So, do you think that Dennis is like, he knows that he's in hell at a certain point in time throughout the show, and then he swaps to being like this, like producer type of like actor in the show?
Yeah. I think maybe even clones are involved. Maybe at a certain point he signed a contract and a clone of him stayed unaware and in the show, and another version of him. But that doesn't really work because in the show he's making his own show. So maybe it's just like baked into him or something. Fuck, dude. We're really getting into the meat of it now.
And then that goes into a little bit of the gang does a clip show. Is that Dennis's like a Dennis edit in the universe? Do you think Dennis edited that in the Sunny universe and it's just playing, like
the clips?
Yeah, the clips are just that episode. Do you think that's Dennis's thing? Because I haven't seen it in a long time. It is weird, but I don't remember.
That episode is one that I've watched quite a bit, so I remember it really well. And the whole thing that it ends up being is that whoever's in control of the reality at the moment is able to change shit within it. Like, there's the thing where Dennis tries to pull him and Mac not being roommates. And then the episode ends with fucking Charlie peeking in on the whole thing. So maybe I'm completely off the thing, and Charlie's the one who's in control. Maybe. I do not know.
That was a thing from a couple pods ago. We were like, is Charlie the, like,
outsider?
I like having a pen in my hand. This feels very, like, writer's roomy.
Here. I'll,
Sorry, I've just been waving this around.
Dude, you hold that in your hand and you get the viewer to just go, well, that looks like a dick. I guess it's here. So, yeah. Like...
Oh, fuck.
A weird thing that I noticed about Miss Kelly's house is that there's so many fucking owls in there.
Yeah, you pointed that out, and you pointed out a Twin Peaks thing.
Yeah, so I, close to a year ago now, I watched Twin Peaks. Awesome show. Like, it's so entertaining, and watching it, like, the thought that's percolating in the back of your head the whole time is, like, we would not have Breaking Bad without this show. And I know that sounds weird. It's like, where is the correlation? But, like, it's just character and story. Yeah. And there's no... And it's got its own vibe. Like, it's got a very unique vibe, Twin Peaks does. I would rewatch the whole thing. Like,
I haven't seen it. Really I think I tried watching it a long time ago, and I just I didn't even know what it was about. I just watched maybe the small little opening bit, and then I closed out of it because I was like, I was just gonna watch something else and watch Gravity Falls again, you know, like something like that.
Mhm.
But
we wouldn't have Gravity Falls without Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it fully and just like dedicate time to it and watching the movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems weird and wacky and fun. And David Lynch.
It's very weird and wacky, and the ending is fucking crazy good. It's a great, and it and I haven't even watched the new stuff.
Yeah, there was a reboot
because they brought it. They revived it.
Yeah, in like for like Showtime or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Never watched that, but I do have to. Oh! Let's revisit the very beginning of the episode. This episode starts, and Charlie and Mac walk in with the inciting incident of there's something going on with their moms. And people of It's Always Sunny in podcast, people of It's Always Sunny in Hell podcast nation, there is something you need to see. You need to rewatch the beginning of this episode because, and I shit you not, Danny DeVito is sitting in a corner watching nothing on the TV. He's sitting in the corner. He's facing the TV, he's using the remote, he's pushing buttons on it, and looking at the TV, and it's just off. There's nothing on it. There's nothing on the TV.
Oh, fuck. I think they might have overlooked that in editing. They probably were going to, like,
100% it's an editing error, but we can use that.
But, like, at the same time, there's no green screen on it. It's not like there was, like, going to be track. It's not like they were going to, like, rotoscope around his head. I don't know, like, what... Maybe it's just Danny was like, this is going to play. This is going to be played for the hardcore audience. Frank would do that, yeah.
The first thing that came to my head is that maybe he's receiving transmissions from the television.
It's beaming in.
It's not on, but he's getting thoughts from in the television.
Also, we noticed some of the paint or some of the pictures in the background of like the bar in that area.
Really weird. Just like there's weird black and white photos.
And the black and white photos make sense because if you think of it, like it could be the street or whatever, like the bar and everything. But there was one photo of just a random guy, like two random guys. Selfie. Like I don't know if it was a selfie, but they're just taking a picture.
Like, the easiest way for me to describe that image, because I have no clue who or if those two people are celebrities or not. It looks like if you were to create the image, Mr. White hanging out with Mr. Black. Like it's just a white guy wearing sunglasses with his arm around a black guy in a black t-shirt with his arm around him. And they're just chilling.
Yeah, they're vibing.
They're just chilling in the photo together. And I have no clue what significance it has.
Yeah,
like, it's
it could just
be
like a photo from like the like production people, right, that they'd put in, or from a different show entirely that the prop department got, or like set department got at
maybe
one thing's for sure though is that I don't think that dog at the bathroom ever comes back outside of like season 4.
Oh yeah, that dog is gone. 2. Yeah, we don't know what happened to that dog.
Yeah. But God, this episode's really, really good. God damn. It's just such a cartoon episode.
Yes.
Like,
so could you, like, you say that, like a cartoon episode, like just that the plot is so not in our world?
No, it's just like, yeah, it just kind of, it's, I don't know, just whenever, like, Charlie Kelly, or, like, Bonnie Kelly pulls the hammer out of the pillow and then goes, you want to sleep, huh? Well, I'll sleep you. And then it's just so cartoonish. It like
yeah. I see.
You know,
it's very animated.
Yeah, it just so good. Every episode in this season is very just cartoony to me. Like it feels fake, but in a very fun, sunny way of like doing it. Like. I think it's because all the episodes are just contained episodes in a thing. Like the water park episode is in this.
Yep.
It's got fucking Gangton's Bar. It's got PTSD, which is a funny episode. Yep.
That episode is awesome.
It's got a lot of good, just self-contained episodes with like, this is the area that the gang is going into. Or this is the one thing that the gang is revolving around. That's what I like.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like everyone has their own separate little things, but it's all revolving around one central point. You know?
What time are we at?
We have been recording for 28 minutes, but I think 8 of that was intro and us trying to set up.
That's fine.
Yeah. But
I can feel the walls closing in.
yeah. I love that about the show. Especially later in like the later seasons, because they're like, let's get weird with it. Let's have let's do The Wiz. Let's have a running gag where two or three characters have to sleep with old black man for the like
for the whole
like
season,
however long.
Yeah. I wish more shows like, because the way that they implement this, like right? consistency. Not even necessarily plot or story, but just consistency is something that this show has played with in really fun ways in a really long time. Like my favorite example, and one that they've talked about on the podcast, because I find this it's a really great Sunny moment. It's season 2, episode 2, the one that starts with them taking the casts off from the previous episode. So fucking interesting, because it's like, okay, it's such a good moment, because like, okay, the reason I'm talking about it here is it's like, okay, they get injured really badly in the last episode and get casts on. The next episode starts with them remaining with those casts on, but they're taking them off now. Very, very cool.
Yeah, right.
But like, this idea of having an event occur in one episode and the consequences of it has consequences. It shifts the status quo for the remainder of the series for a brief while in a way that is almost isolatory to a new viewer in a strange way, but not too much, because it's like, it's almost like an inside joke. Yeah. It's like in this episode, it's very just like one line of them mentioning like, because we're still sleeping with old black man. And if you heard that and had no clue what was going on, you watched this episode in a vacuum, you would be like, okay, why'd he say that? But if you've seen Dennis and Mac move to the suburbs, you go, oh yeah, I know why they're still there. I know why this occurred. I know what happened here. Like, it's this very weird consistency that's like almost very real. Like, I wish we could see that in other TV shows too. Like, something happening and being really weird, but it's normal for the characters, so they just mention it in offhand remarks. Because, like, I don't know.
Like, the only other shows cool that I see, like Seinfeld kind of does that, but they also wanted to like keep it like, you know, just every episode self-contained, you know.
Yeah.
They do like
Curb
a little bit. Curb does a lot of things.
Curb has season arcs.
But also it does just pile on throughout the show until the ending episode, which I don't think I've seen the finale. I'm not sure. It was on whenever me and Chip went to Dallas. We turned the TV on and then we found HBO fucking channel. It was playing a Curb episode where he's like on trial, and I think that might be the season, like the series finale, like the end of the show. I don't know, but that like brought back a lot of like things from the show, a lot of people and characters and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of shows do that, but I don't think they do it as well as Sunny does.
Oh, how could they?
A lot of it is very character based, like fucking what, Maureen Ponderosa? Is it Maureen Ponderosa? Who is
yeah, that's Dennis's wife.
Yeah, Dennis's wife. Like her whole character, how she starts like
normal.
And then she ends up as like a cat woman.
Yeah, and you watch that evolution over time. Or Cricket. Cricket's a great fucking example. That guy's changed over time.
Uncle Jack, his hands, just his whole character in general, where he gets more and more creepy and more like his hands are big and crazy.
He needs big hands.
Yeah. But man, such a good show. Anyway, I want to give a shout out to bisexual Dennis Reynolds in the comments.
Yo! Absolute bloody dead set legend.
Legendary. If you're still here, thank you for sticking around for the third episode.
Holy shit! You, if we're doing the shout out, then I'll talk the real talk. This has been the best immediate noticeable reception to a thing I've done in ever. This is awesome. And seeing bisexual Dennis Reynolds, seeing your comment on the first episode made me really happy.
Yeah.
And then seeing another comment on the second episode made me go, oh my god, they're back. We got one. You're on the fucking hook. Yeah,
and I do want to apologize for not
really
pointing out the Sind system in the Dennis system episode.
We should have done that. We talked about it beforehand. We were talking about that episode before we started, and but
we'll get to the Sind system when that episode happens.
When we get there, yeah.
But yeah, it'll be great. The next episode, I'm pretty sure, is going to be us talking about Hero or Hate Crime, which is such a good episode. I don't know necessarily how well it fits in the theory, but I love that episode. So we're just gonna
go to.
Do it. Yeah. We're just gonna do it. If there's any episodes that you want us to talk about specifically, go for it and comment it.
One I'm considering doing just because it's a one-off character that we can really dive into and maybe establish some rules for is Mac Day.
Oh, Mac Day. Yeah, I thought you were going to do a Cricket's Tale.
That was one thing that bisexual Dennis...
Cricket, oh my god. I think Cricket is just a normal guy in hell. From the, just with them. I think he's just with them. He dies at some point. On the streets or something, and he just shows up there. God, I believe that he is one of the main characters. Man. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. I think that's the pod. I think that's this episode. But thank you. Thank you so much for watching.
That might be it. Thank you so very, very, very much for watching. Is there anything else to talk about or say before we outro this? Because I think what are my notes say? What is Danny watching? Old Black Man, Lynn Marie Stewart. Her doing things in threes is hilarious.
I know. Her little rituals are so good.
Me and you could work on establishing some catchphrases for this podcast.
Ooh.
You could, I can't even. Or, that went well.
Yeah.
And I love Mac's shirt. There's a very
Mac's
good. We should.
Good.
Oh, it would be a good special episode or special production is if we do a Mac's shirt tier list.
Ooh, that would be cool.
That's a good. I like that. We could.
That one we have to cut the sleeves off of some shirts and wear the.
Oh! Okay, we'll do that. That has to happen. But there's a really good entry in this episode. Max wearing a shirt that sports the slogan "Wish you were beer."
Yeah, that's a good one.
And also, and I wanted to shout out. We paused the credits of Old Lady House as the episode is ending. As the episode of Old Lady House is ending, the production company that Dennis has created is How Will You Compensate Me Productions. Which is really funny.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So Jacob Rewind, do you want to do your funny call this number bit on screen?
As you know, we've got a phone line. If you've got any questions, any recommendations, anything at all, just call us toll free at 010-1001. Sunny spelt wrong. I think I threw in one too many ones there, but just don't tell anyone. But that number is not going to be repeated this time.
All right. We'll catch you on the next episode. Have a good day. Bye-bye.